Fratelli, the Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. Fratelli, the Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast.
Ciao a tutti, benvenuti. Welcome everyone to a new episode of Fratelli di Rugby. New episode tonight. Recap of the derbies, and then let's chit chat about the Quesada selection. Probably tomorrow they're gonna be we're gonna have the squad for the Six Nation. Mike, ciao, come stai?
Ciao, Happy New Year. Yeah,
Happy New Year, Mike. Right.
I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Obviously, you were missed last week. People messaging, where's Otto? I have to say that you were saving children from like an orphanage on fire and stuff, you know, usual Ottavio stuff. Yeah. But yeah, all good, mate, all good. Obviously, lots to go through today, mate, isn't there?
It is, because it was a really interesting December with all these things happening to the Zebre. As you said, you mentioned you had a deep dive into the Zebre. Actually, in the last two podcast episodes, we really dig into what is changing how, and then with Josh, Zebre real fun. You talk about the more speculation coming. We're gonna talk about this next week because the 15 is coming. It's a week, and then we will know what's gonna happen, or at least who's interested into Zebre. But let's talk about the field. 2 games. How were the emotion during these 2 games, Mike? With the first game decided in the last play of the game.
Yeah,
and the second one with a different score and a try for the bonus point at the end. So
yeah, I think there was 2 different levels of frustration, right? So if we're looking at the first derby, the way it ended, it just felt like it hurt the play. It hurt the players, right? And I mean that, you know, it was literally spot on. Dead second of 80th minute, like they done everything right. But listen, at the end of the day, you play the referee, right? And then in the second game, a different kind of frustration, because they were in the game for a long period of time. They never made it comfortable for Benetton, and that's a real sign of growth from this young Zebre team. Because let's be honest, Otto, that's something that they've struggled to replicate over a period of time. So. Genuinely, like almost like a better frustration in the second game, because the last one they did everything that they needed to do to win it up until the last second. But in the second game, through all of the,
we should say,
they worked as much as they possibly can to make it as difficult as possible, and I think that's a big sign of growth. So hey, net positive for Italian rugby. You know, Benetton, fair play to them. They came away with the wins, and it's put them in, you know, playoff position now. So it's up for them to really try and obviously cement that they are a playoff team. And Zebre, fair play, they managed to get a point away from.
2 weeks ago, let's say almost a month ago, before these 2 games, we're talking about how tight they're gonna have been these games, and one of them was what we were expecting to, because we know how much they wanted to fight. Probably the big bummer for Zebre, it was how they managed those moments, and since the red card for Spagnolo, those 20 minutes between the red card, Spagnolo, the yellow card with Izagor, they were winning in that moment. Probably those are the most frustrating moments, because you were on top with the score, and then they were not able to score. On the other side, good resilience by Benetton at the end of the first game, because they were there. they were good. They played the ref. I don't think so, but was weird the way never cleaned the way of that clean how they closed that track. But anyway, they did well in that. But they did great in those 20 minutes with a man down, 2 men down. They play really well, I think, opening the field multiple times wide, and they were good in that. And this Marine that keeps scoring in the last every time he came in, it's something. It's not so easy to, but he scored again in this way, and I like it. So good stuff still for Benetton too, because they were expecting those points more or less. They were there, 9, 10. Like mission accomplished. Then you take whatever it takes in this moment, because we know how it started the season. Zebre, yes, but anyway, good. For the emotions there, maybe a little bit too many mistakes from both teams, but still quite interesting.
Yeah. I think first of all, your point on Marin is spot on. Like, he just finds a way of scoring. He's got that sort of ruthless edge, which I think, we've spoken about in the past. I think it's fair to say we've lacked in recent years, having that stone cold like killer. That's why, Monty's been so valuable to us as well. Like he just has a nose for it, and Marin finds a way to score. So that's always something to add to your repertoire, and as a unique selling point. But to your point, Benetton, massive credit. Like, it seems, and I said it to you before, but it seems like Benetton, without a second playmaker like Brex, and a Benetton with Brex, seem like two completely separate teams. Obviously, Benetton have got such a fantastic bench now. They have the opportunity to try these new, what's the word I'm looking for? New combinations. And I think Brex is the kind of person where he just goes to show how vital he is to the Benetton attack, and he's in the middle of a lot of the stuff that goes right, which is a scary thought as well, because we love Brex, we always advocate for Brex, but also we need succession planning. We need to understand who else can potentially fit that mold, because I don't think the centers that we currently have can. Menoncello, fantastic talent, freak athlete, doesn't have the rugby IQ Brex provides. Zanon, very similar. Fekatoa, very similar.
Yeah, he did that kind of game. It's not the same, like the way Brex passed the ball. It's something really like with a copyright on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
With
exactly.
The mark. But
so I'm going to ask you a question then, right? So, knowing what we just said, where do you think Marin fits in this long term? Because for me, more and more we talk about it, more and more I see him as a 12.
Man, I'm all in with that. Sorry for one of our Patreon, Roberto, because we talk about how good he can be as a 10 if he's on game time. But for me, as he played that back in the days with Crowley, I would like to see a combination Marin Menoncello with a Marin that can also step Marin in attack. He can do something quite interesting. The hands are the hands of a 10. He knows how to play that, and it's pretty solid in defense. So yes, I would like to see one day, who knows when, but a combination playing him, because whatever happened 12-13, because they swap jerseys during when they play with Quesada, because Menoncello is the 12 for one and not for Quesada. So there is this difference every time, but still, hands of Brex are something different. And I don't know if maybe it's gonna be back in the day we talk also about Garbisi being a 12, because he was playing 12. He can do that kind of move and can attack. But Marin is a prospect, really interesting at 12 there, because actually at the moment we don't have so many centers developing at the highest level. We're lucky that May now went to Charente Sochaux in second division, but this week is not in the squad. They're gonna play tomorrow against Biarritz. He's not in the team yet, but hopefully.
We'll see. Yeah, hopefully he gets a bit of time, because I think actually you made the point. It's not a good point. I think you made the point, which is we don't have that many centers which are developing as a partnership, right? So we look at Zebre. Now Drago's gone over with Berteccini. Hopefully we see a lot more of him. Zebre.
Those
Okay,
two
that's cool.
need to
Yeah.
do the step.
Yeah, for sure. They need more game time together. They need to develop a relationship. You know, some of that telepathy that some of the best players have. But I'm still concerned with the amount of influence Brex has at everything we do right, because he is one person. He is brilliant, but we need to start trying to find a solution to that long term as well, I think.
And we need him because we're gonna talk about selection later on. But yes, Brex still, when he came in, like everybody was more relaxed in the field. Everybody had more power. Like they got the stamina more to play an extra level ready, and they did really well in the second half when Brex came in. Figueroa tried to do that kind of play. Sometimes he pick the ball as a first receiver and then move the ball around. Maybe the first time goes like that, the second one usually goes as a pull passer. So that is interesting. And then there is a question. Let's go into this by FV. Hi guys, I listened to all the podcasts and I hear you talking lots about Marin, how good he is. Why do you think he hasn't had more game time for the national team? Because I'm gonna try to explain easily. The full development of the player goes with the Garbisi that had every time game time, no matter what. It was a 12, it was a 10, he always played. Marin came from a lot, 1 year and a half of injuries continuously. So that is that's why, for example, last year he wasn't called up at the beginning of the selection. Then he was always with the team, and even Quesada said he's the 10. Now there is more competition at 10 because we have not Montemauri more, but Dare stepping in because he's finally at game time. But that's probably the reason. Marin also can cover every position. Somebody doesn't like it. Of course, we said that about our friend Roberto. Marin at 10. Everybody wants to see him at 10. But yes, 12 is a solution for him. Really interesting to explore. Being young, having still Garbisi in the field, or whoever is gonna play 10, I would like to have that kind of management in some games. You don't want to see maybe it's gonna be an option for some kind of games you want to see him. Maybe another time it's gonna be a Bertaccini, it's gonna be Mori. So understanding this development of players, like a 13 Lozowski, that kind of player too. You want that play. I want
Slade, Lozowski, that sort of model, yeah.
Or Farrell, which for me...
Yeah. I mean, Farrell's probably the one that he should probably try and mirror himself on. But thank you for the question, Effie. I just want to also add, Ottavio's hit the nail on the head. He came back from injury, and then as almost like a warm-up, there was the emerging Italy team, and they went out to Leicester Tigers, and it was the under-23 academy or ex-academy Italian players, and he broke his elbow like immediately coming back off injury, and I think he maybe managed a game or two before that, and in between he looked really good, so he managed 1 or 2 URC games and then went straight into that, got injured. So a lot of it is unlucky, and some of it is the fact that because he hasn't been part of the team, it's allowed other players to emerge, like Bertaccini, like Otto said, and stuff as well. So it's just poor timing, but he's so young and there's plenty more to come from him, so we should expect a lot more, I think.
And with Crowley, he played 3 games at 12, starting 12 in
I see it.
Yes, again, Ireland, Scotland had the game that we were saying about Wales with the fever, sick and everything, but still. So it's an option. After those 2 years more experience, it's important. If you think about it, he completely lose the 22-23 season, and then he started back in the 23-24 at the beginning. The beginning means in December he was able to come back to. Then he was in the 5 minutes, something like that, with Quesada, but that is the developing for now. So hopefully he's gonna start more. Three tries this season. One against the Sharks and 2 against the Zebre for Leo Marin.
He just loves scoring, doesn't he?
If you have it, why not, right? If you have that feeling to score. Something that I hope actually is going to happen with Gloucester tomorrow against the Scarlets. This is just for me and my lovely fans tomorrow. Great game. But who was the player of the derbies for you? One for
honestly,
Benetton, one for Zebre.
Honestly, and you can vouch because I text you it. Before he went off injured, didn't I say Zambonin was being
Zorro?
I genuinely thought he was standout for both tests, both derbies.
Da incorniciare, to put on a wall those 2 couple of games.
Yeah, like he just
Jagger
had a bit of
just
had a bit of sea about him. Like he was getting angry. Like he was. I think one thing that we don't see as much, and I was listening to an English podcast on the way from work today, and it's something that I understand now, is they had Furbank on, it was good, the band, the rugby, and he speaks about how when players come back from test level or international level, sometimes they get frustrated by the team around them that haven't gone, right? And I've been seeing that this season from Zambonin, and he's trying to take a step into that leadership role, and I thought he was exceptional the first game. I genuinely, like, how many, you know better than I do, you're the stat man, but I think he turned over at least 2 lineouts, right? He was good. He was good.
Plus, there were a couple of like tackle saving situation like that. The one against Benetton, these games were there. A couple of good tackles. One on Ratave, really, really clean tackle. Ratave jumped a little bit, but yeah, still good in the middle because he was running Ratave. So just shock, boom, down, perfect. Yeah, pretty good.
I was gonna say I see a pattern emerging, but also another person was Lewis Liner, who I thought actually had probably 2 of his best games. So I'm going to stop saying players because I don't want to injure them. So, but those are the 2 players that I thought were standout, ironically, in the last 2 weeks. So that's just my 2 cents.
A player that. Couple of players for Zebre and a couple of players for Benetton. I'm gonna just put names there because I saw how they worked. Of course, the match, Linag Jesse was so funny to see. So interesting that there were so many things happening, hands in the face, pushing, tackling, charging on an eyeball. That was fantastic to see that fight because both they want to perform, both they want to be better than what they already show or what they were before injuries and stuff. So that was something that I really liked that duel.
It was a fight, wasn't it? They went to war, which was cool to see.
And on the other side, the other fight was between Giuliani being free to play 7 with Lamarede 2. We saw a couple of good stealing, like jackals, really well done by Giuliani, the classic Giuliani you want to see for longer time, no injuries, great for him. And on the other side, I saw how rough can be Ferrari, Jack Ferrari.
Yeah. And for he was abrasive, wasn't he? Yeah.
We want more. The players that they are playing more, because he's playing more than Odias and the other one, they have to show. And those 2 games, I like the way he plays his role as a 6.
Yeah, I think that's really fair. And I thought as well, if we're going to say some honourable mentions, I thought Bertaccini really did step up as well. Like he did that lovely line break. There's bits that he needs to work on as well because they were attacking his channel a lot.
And we see also Albornoz when he's on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Playing a flurry game. So I can see we've got a couple more messages, Arthur. Phantom, hello, mate. We have Phantom messages saying we have a young nephew of Brex who has joined Treviso. Rex Jr. Interesting.
I don't know. Ciao a Matteo pure, che si connette, my friend from Fiumicino. And then Robert about completely agree on Zamboni mentality since he started playing for Italy. And he completely agree with you about this game. Let's see what saying Federico. Federico is saying I missed the first game, but the second game Bertaccini Fischietti, Stabile.
Yes, good shout. Stabile, Stabile was amazing.
For Zebre. Zuliani and Menoncello. Menoncello seems obvious to talk about him, but he's top notch, let's say. Probably one of the best list of like squad team of the year is the Squidge one, and of course, Tommaso Menoncello is there because he's Menoncello and he's showing how powerful he is. If we're gonna see all the rest of his game being like a Tuipulotu on the way he play the ball, those centers that knows how to move the ball, it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be like unstoppable because he's already so strong, powerful, and the right mentality. This guy. After
I was going to ask you, there's one moment that stood out. I think it was in the first game where Menoncello attacks on the wing and he holds Bertaccini's also like trying to backtrack, and he's holding him so Menoncello can't do his offload, and he's holding him just on the 5 meter line, and I noticed it in the replay. He's pointing, and I think it's was it Fratelli who was playing fullback? I can't remember who's playing fullback. Yeah, so he was pointing to try and come across, but basically he was cutting off that the passing option the whole time and was holding him to the line. So that's like really smart rugby IQ. Like that was really well sort of thought out to try and keep him there, and that was done on the fly as well, which again shows quite nice. But just because Federico did mention Bertaccini, it just triggered me as well, like there Bertaccini, Menoncello, like let's see what that happens in the future as well.
And a couple of more stuff interesting. It's about this went everywhere on Instagram about the 1 every 42 minutes like more rack turnovers won. So Jagas Zuliani in Europe Pro Rugby is him. So pretty crazy stats about that. In the URC, Canali is our second juggler after Zuliani. The best one, the more turnover won is Zuliani, Jesi, Prisciantelli. Spagnolo for the stats a couple of weeks ago was lower because now we're waiting the update
the time. That's interesting. That's super interesting.
Like Prisciantelli, Jesi, then there are a lot of players with the same amount. Was Umaga too that was there. So let's see when they're gonna be updated and everything, the reports, so we can share with everybody in our WhatsApp chat too. And about this question for the listeners for post-match review, we're gonna be also in Italy in a little bit. We're gonna be there for Italy Wales, so we're gonna be at the Stadio Olimpico for the game. So if you're around, please let's go share a couple of beers before, like we did last year with Lucio and more friends. We were there live. We went to the Rugby Museum, another great, fantastic situation. Actually, I didn't think about that. Yeah, probably it's going to be something Friday night there. But
yeah. Oh, well, I was going to say if it is this time I'm not going back to Rome. Let's try and find an Airbnb around that area. We'll be fine, mate. Yeah. So it's interesting you say that. Yeah. Like hopefully Leo can come this time. Just a quick one. It's interesting you say that. Just keep your ears to the ground. We're going to be bringing more people on again to the pod, but you know there are some plans that Otto and I are putting together for the Six Nations. We've got some coals in the fire that we need to sort of check on, but there's some really cool ideas coming, so we're quite excited by it.
Yeah, and we're gonna come back with a couple of interesting point of view, so just stay tuned and let's see, because the Six Nations is coming soon. Mike, 25 minutes in, we should move on what's going to happen tomorrow. That is all about the selection for the national team.
Yeah.
34, 35, 33 players. More or less, we're going to be there, but there are some situations to clear out, to understand how we're going to move forward, because probably the worst things that happened during the derbies was the red card for Spagnolo and related injury. We don't know yet what's happening to the knee of Zambonin. So we lost in the same action 2 players for the national team.
And Liner.
And Linag a couple of days after that. So we lose 3 potential
first team
starters if we want, because the project was there. At least Zambonin is the player that can take now that kind of responsibility in the team. So that's the situation. Shall we start thinking about talking about?
Let's dive in, man. Let's dive in. I'm actually really excited about this. I like, not just because it's speculation, but because actually this time we're going to have a headache, right? So if we're having headaches, people who aren't who aren't internally invested, as in like to the movement, like Quesada and that, I can't wait to see what conversations they're having. I wish I could be a fly on the wall, man. Like, just to understand, why
what those discussions look like. But he's gonna be pretty clever trying to explain after why he took those decisions.
Yeah.
So Mike, sure. I put here in this is a big list. I have it in different way. I posted also on Patreon about like the players every game under Quesada from England, in Rome, where we went in Rome actually last year for Italy-England Stadio Olimpico, and then all the games until to reach the last one. Is the All Blacks game. So Fischetti is there, of course. It was always been called as a first choice Fischetti. So Fischetti is there, and we know that nothing's going to change. We see Nicoter and Lucchesi moving more or less a couple of games each. The tired prop, since the Riccioni is back, Riccioni is the starting prop, we can say. Because if you think like they start with Ceccarelli, moving to Zilocchi, 3 games for Ferrari, and then Riccioni first choice, and then Ferrari. So we have 2 players that we know, and then let's move, because then we're gonna move more deep on this.
Just really quickly on that point though, this illustrates a really important point, right? Because Ferrari has more is more of utility, even though he might by objectively start over Riccioni, it's what keeps him on the bench. So this is a conversation that we were having in the group not too long back, where sometimes the best players don't start, right? Does that and that's just an interesting sort of observation, I think.
It is, because that probably is going to be the situation about the prop, because Spagnoli is not there. We have Nemer out for a long time, actually another injury for him, other weeks out. So he really missed so much game time in 1 year and a half, kind of. How long? 1 year, probably and a half is going to happen. But anyway, so who's going to play there? Okay, we have that situation with Spagnolo. We have Rizzoli that usually is being called up, because if we go back, I'm gonna go show you, he was called up in the last selection too. He was the 3rd prop, because after Spagnolo there was Rizzoli. So Rizzoli, I think, is gonna be part of this game. But now is gonna be Ferrari the 3rd choice, or is gonna bring let's say 7 props, because on the right we know Riccioni, Ferrari, Ceccarelli is playing, and Zilocchi. Okay, if we bring all of them, so it's gonna be 4 there, and Rizzoli, Fischetti on the other side, or it's gonna bring in, the name is one at the moment, which
for me there's an obvious one. It's a no-brainer for me to bring in Hazard, but that's me, because he also plays both sides for me.
No, Amino still not. I don't think it. Hazard is better than Amino on the highest level. That's for me. he had
Yes.
more game time. So Amino is gonna be he's in that.
He's good enough to, for sure. Like he has the potential. I understand, but for me, I just think Hasa was really unlucky I think he was really unlucky in the summer and in the autumn. We were saying at the end of last year, if you guys want to go and listen back to our reviews from last year, we were saying that he was one of like the most improved players from Zebre, and I think he was a little bit unfortunate with an injury, but like he doesn't look out of place anytime he plays in URC. I really do rate him. So nice.
So this is the situation, right? Fischietti Rizzoli, Spagnolo out for the first 2 games, and then Asa. Let me answer quick to Federico. Federico never played for Argentina pre-Fratelli. Is eligible, yes, but he was in the last in the November. He never played for the Pumas, but was there with Contepomi, with Carreras, and everybody.
He's also not eligible yet.
He's not eligible until the summer. Yes, in the summer he can be eligible. So also those two questions. No, because the choice is for Argentina. So, and the second one, not yet. Yeah, if still was possible.
Although, if you're listening to us and you wanna, if you wanna, go full Geronimo and go into your Italian roots, feel free to let us know, mate, because we would love to have you.
Ferrari, Ceccarelli, Zilocchi on the other side. Those 3 players were the choices made by Quesada last year without Riccioni. This year, of course, probably is Riccioni the player that goes in, and probably Zilocchi is the one that goes out if Ferrari is not gonna move on this situation here. Yeah. Right. So that's it.
I think you're spot on. Yeah.
So here, Mike, and Nicola Lucchesi, yes. You think? I think Di Bartolomeo deserves more than what Manfredi showed until now. But 100%. You think it's gonna be Manfredi or Di Bartolomeo the third choice? Or I didn't put there Zarantonello at the moment.
Who would be the 4th choice? I think. I actually genuinely think
it should be like Zarantonello and then Rivaldi.
Manfredi for now, maybe. Yep. So I think for me, Di Bartolomeo has shown such growth in such a short period of time. He's probably not someone, unless we're forced to play in the Six Nations, that we'd want to play. But I am genuinely really impressed by him, and I think if he has a good summer tour, he could genuinely be pushing maybe one of the top 2, and we might be having a bit of a headache next year. So good. It's reassuring for us, I think.
So you should go like this, and you should put here Manfredi. Yes. Say, okay. Then Ferrari, Ceccarelli, Zilocchi. We said okay here last year. The 4 players that called us for lock were Nicolò Cannone, Ruzza, Iachizza, and Zambonin.
Is Iachizza still injured, mate?
Yeah, he is still injured, man. He had back heel, Achilles heel.
Oh crap! Okay, yeah, he'll be gone for a while.
So
that's a shame because he looked good as well.
Last week, what happened to Lamb? Because I watched the game, Harlequins game, but still I didn't understand. What happened to him? He just came out walking after a couple of situations where he just moved around the field after like kicking game, a little bit of kicking games. He was running, clean out, nothing weird. And
but I also think so. If I remember correctly, I did actually watch the game, but I was watching it with a couple of my mates. So I was talking, but I'm pretty sure he came off the field and then he came back on the field and then he got injured. So I think maybe there was, I don't know, maybe it was something to do with the gum shield. They checked him, and then after that he came back on. I believe. I just didn't see him for a while whilst he was playing. So I think for Lamb, if we go on the assumption that he isn't available for the time being, and let's hope that he is, but if we go on the assumption that he's not, who do you bring in on?
it's pretty done if he's out, which is this player coming in, which is Favretto.
Yeah.
Because if also Favretto is out, okay, Houston, we have a problem because probably we have to go call Krumov. If we
Or
you
CC,
think,
our boy CC might want to have a little run out. Just why not?
Lazzaroni from Mogliano.
Yeah,
So the situation is that, okay, if Lamb is available, Canali was almost there. Probably this can be at the end, it opens a big opportunity for him.
agreed.
There.
Agreed.
Okay, I already saw this. I agree. This can be a great crazy call. Can be a crazy call, but yes, makes sense because it's really maverick player. Guarda qua, mi si spezza il cuore. Why not Venditti? My God, why not Galvanize? Bello.
Yeah, with Stavile, I would like to see him play, but I don't think he get. It's tough because he's had such an exceptional couple of games, but then Locatelli's just come in and he potentially can put his head in, right? Like it's mate, the back row for us is actually genuinely a real tough conversation.
Guys, these are the names that all available. Everybody's good. Everybody's ready to go. All these players in theory, which is not bad at all to think.
Yeah.
Plus Favretto last year, he played as a number 6 blind side. The first against France, he played 6, for example, which is something that probably is one of the values of a player like him, because he can play as a lock too. Probably is is the only back rower that can play lock too. Or actually, he's a lock that can play back row.
Yeah.
Let's call it in this way. And then, of course, in if we do the names, here is Krumov after all of them does that. So you think it's gonna be a surprise or it's gonna be Favretto? Let's think about Lamb being there as a. So you think Favretto is gonna play in front of Canali, so Canali is not gonna get a shot, or is gonna be Favretto Lamb, Canali Favretto, Lamb Favretto? What do you think there, Mike?
I think we probably will see some rotation, but I do think Favretto's
probably four players is gonna call. Favretto is the only one that can play both roles, so probably it's gonna be the 7th back rower, and he's gonna be Canali Lamb. Cannone.
Yeah, I see that as well. I think we'll go for utility here, just because of what people don't understand is an injury, right, isn't just disruptive because they're like, oh no, that's a really good player that's lost. It's also, it's a player that understands all of the line-out calls. It's a player that understands how we want to play. It's all of that stuff as well. So it's disruptive in more than one reason. So having players in tournament conditions that are utility players and can sort of play across the field if needs be, they immediately get like a +1 rating, like straight off, another tick. Cool. So yeah, almost certainly Favretto will make the squad. I don't know whether he'll be classified as a blindside or lock, but I guess we'll find out.
They're gonna be there, so probably okay. So we're gonna have 4 locks and 7 if we guess Favretto is gonna be in front of Ferrari, Diaz, Stavili, Locatelli, Licata, Lafia, and he's gonna still be called. So like last year, let's say. Yeah. The same players of last year for the between locks and back rowers. Let's go to the backs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it Fusco injured? No, right? He's good. Ready to go.
He got he comes back from suspension this game, right?
So last year, Pejerello, Garbisi, and Varney were called. Varney is not playing so much, actually, and Fusco is gonna be the third one, I think. Then, if he's gonna somebody's gonna surprise me, he's gonna call Varney. I'm gonna be happy. I'm not gonna say no, but
no,
at the moment, how you think? What do you think about the Alessandro Garbisi last couple of games? Better starting, better from the bench.
I actually think he's better off the bench, personally. Right? Maybe that's because I didn't think Yurin had the best game. Right?
That game, yes.
Yeah. But I don't know, mate. To be honest, he strikes me as the kind of confidence player, right? So I feel as though if you give him a starting position and like the coaches like fully trust him and stuff and give him a license to express himself, we're probably going to see more out of him as a player. And I think that's probably where he probably would prefer to go because he can get a feel of like the tempo of the game and all that jazz, right? But then he came off the bench and scored against England, didn't he? And then he came off the bench. He tends to come off the bench and score.
He got much
from memory, right?
Actually, let's see how many times he played.
Love talking to Statman. He knows.
So yeah, Garbisi, he started against England.
He started, did he? And he scored.
Yeah, and then he started against Georgia. But
did
in
he
the
score
middle,
against Georgia as well?
No, Fusco scored against Georgia.
Right, when he came off the bench. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is interesting because when he got a chance, he used his chance in the best way possible. Actually, let me see what is. Garbisi, these games here, yes. Tonga, Japan, Argentina, all from the bench for Alessandro Garbisi, and then the last one against New Zealand too.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I to be honest with you, I'm undecided where I think he's better, but regardless, I think Martin Pedrolo starts for me. Even though he does have the option to play, across the back line. I don't know, actually. That's a tough position for me. Like I struggle because clearly
50% of the game with Quesada, he played Pajero 9, so probably he's gonna be the starter. I mean,
it's just for me, mate. Like again, this one is very different horses, different courses, right? This is very much who are we playing for that team, because each one of our scrum halves has a different USP. Martin Pedrolo, we know, like when it's a broken game, he's got pace, he loves attacking around the rock, all that good stuff. Right, Varney, if he was to be called up, we know that we're going to get clean ball off both sides. Like we know what we get from Varney. He's a very traditional Anglo player. Garbisi obviously is big, like for a 9, he's quite a physical player. Like, and then there's Fusco, which again, like I think he just brings that slight more tempo. But then they lack all three of those lack what Varney has, which is weird. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, who do we play for that team?
Yeah, like I was highlighting this because if you see the first 3 games, he tried 3 different 9s starting, and then he said, okay, those are the chances, those are the players I want to see, and I don't want to. So, which way? In this way. And then some choices were to be done in that way. If you think about Argentina, Georgia, New Zealand, Varney is not there because he never played.
Mm-hmm.
More than other opportunity, Fusco took his chances. No, it's interesting there. But probably they're going to be those 3 players, as we said. Okay, here we go. So Pajelo, Garbisi, and Fusco instead of Varney. Think about time, how much they play and everything. So fly half, Mike. Garbisi and Allan. And
pick
then
themselves. Yeah.
You think one of these 3 is going to go in the team or not for this selection?
Well,
think about what we have left on the right wing fullback options, because that's is a situation.
I think I'm remembering from when we saw Marin in the Challenge Cup last year. He was playing wing as well, right?
Yes, he played wing too.
Right. He's going to come because he's a utility back for us, right? So
Menoncello can play wing.
And then what we see, Marin inside. Nice. I like the way you're thinking, mate. Yeah,
Menoncello against France, he play on the wing.
Yeah, I think what we'll see is Marin almost certainly will come in one way or another. I don't know what he'll be classed as.
So Marin is going, huh?
Yeah, he's just a utility. He's been in the Italian setup for long enough now, so he knows how everyone wants to play and all that jazz. He'll be there.
I think pretty good. I think Dare at the moment is a little bit step ahead of Montemauri. My personal opinion at the moment.
Yeah, 100% agree.
So that is a situation, and of course Bruno does not get called up, but is there because was called last season with Ioane, Jesse, Bruno, Capozzo, Pani. Those were the 5 players called in the back three by Quesada last year at the beginning. Then of course Leinag came in after he signed for Benetton. So Leinag took his chance. Bruno went out. This was the switch that happened there. And then of course Pani is still injured, but soon to come back to play. Leinag is out. Bruno is out. So I don't know how long it's gonna be still. How long it takes to be ready to play for Gallagher. What is the issue with him? Is it good? Is it okay? There's something. Do I miss something?
No, I don't think he's, or at least I haven't seen that he's injured. It might be niggles. It might be just match fitness, mate. Who knows? But I fully expect him to be part of the squad as well. Are we happy with the centres? I love how we just skip past centres pick themselves, don't they?
At the moment, I think those are the 4 players that we should focus on. Menoncello, Brex, Zanon, Bertaccini. I don't know how long it's going to take for Mori to be fit again. He was coming back, but he doesn't have game time. So this take it out normally. Then yes, Trulla is coming because he wasn't called last year. Gallagher wasn't called last year either. So those 2 players come in with Ioane, Jesse, Trulla, Capozzo, Gallagher, with Alan that can play also fullback.
Yeah,
and then those are the boys we have, Mike.
Well, for right wing, do you think we're going to pull a second right wing, or are we just going to have Gallagher as that option
on the right wing?
Yeah,
Capozzo, Trulla for me are the main option there.
So would we pull another fullback, or are we just going to say cross pollination, Alan, Marin, those 2?
Cross pollination, I think.
Nice. I love this. I think it's brilliant what you've done here. Yeah, I love this.
Capozzo is more flavory. There is an Italian game when Capozzo is in the team, when he's not.
Yeah, for sure. You can tell.
Pretty clever. So,
little Darcy Graham.
Yeah. So I'm thinking also, is it gonna be Gallagher the wing, like we saw, like the 15, the 14?
Honestly, I would rather see. I love Gallagher. I love what he brings, but it has to be, if it's going to be right. I know Furbank's injured, but imagine it was England with Stewart. If it's England with Stewart, we pick Gallagher at the back, right? If it's England with Marcus Smith, we pick up Watson. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they're going to kick less, right? They're not going to play high contestables. We've got an attacking threat. If they kick to Capozzo, we have that option, right? Whereas if it's going to be if we're playing a team that are going to kick heavy and they're going to go for contestables, Gallagher that's where he adds value. So that's where I think, if we're going to be really honest with ourselves, we're probably going to see a mix of players playing fullback. We're probably going to see a mix of players on the wing. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Alan at fullback at some point.
Okay. Looking at this, it seems like the option is going to be Ioane, Trulla, Capozzo. I don't know, seems the one that, how many times they play together? 2 times, these three together. Is the only one that played the most in the last 10 games for Italy.
No, I see that happening. Actually,
also 11 games.
Don't forget on the New Zealand game, I don't know if it was out of necessity, but Menoncello did end up on the wing at the end, didn't he, for the try?
Yeah. But another player that could be an option on the wing is Bertaccini.
Yeah.
He played too. So, but Mike, I'm talking this way, but somebody's gonna kill me. But we're not putting Jesse on the wing side, on the right side. He's not gonna be called for the. I mean,
question, right? More than anything, question, right? When?
The first game, or maybe he can start. For me, he can start 14 there against Wales.
Okay. I like the problem I have, right, with playing players who are untested at test level is the fact that the Six Nations isn't the right time to do it, in my opinion, right? I think the Six Nations need to be played with players that we know what we're going to get.
The best you have. But Mike, I was thinking that, yeah, okay, and then this summer they're gonna play. Yes, this summer we're gonna play against the Springboks.
Let's hope, right? We've got the Springboks, right? There's no expectation on us winning those games, right? There is none, but we can learn a lot, and hopefully the Springboks, they respect us enough to play like a proper team, and we can learn something from those games, right? So we'll see. Right. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see, because this is the situation. Like the team is made by itself. Like what the players are giving. Then probably there is more like you see that player should play because he's playing well. We have a couple of each situation like that. Jesse probably is the one that we saw playing, getting better, actually, probably, because Ioane is that level of player. We know that for us. What does it mean? But probably Jesse is the most improved player in the last 3 months of URC. Let's say
Jesse's brilliant. Like Jesse's so brilliant, and actually, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, fuck it, let's just throw him in, let's see what happens, right? But also, we've seen what happens. We've seen what happened with Trulla. It took him 2.5 years to get back in the team. We saw what happened with Mori. He never really got back in. There's also a time about getting it right, like getting the call-ups right. And I think Jersey is, well, he's definitely a confidence player. He says it himself, right? Like he was hurt when he wasn't picked and his form dipped. He's playing great. And
what is going to help us, Mike, is the way we have this Six Nation, Scotland, Wales, that probably can help in the rotation of the team more.
Potentially, but we always start slow.
Yeah, but this time we have to start fast, quick enough, because those are.
I get that. I mean, so if we're going to start fast, question you as your coach, put your coach hat on. Forget about how you feel about Jersey. Coach hat is on, yeah.
Yeah.
You got it on.
Maybe so my daughter around now. Put a lamp on me.
There you go. Right. So your coach hat is on. If you add a unknown into a team, right? As a coach on a must-win game, how do you feel about that?
On a must-win game,
they are. Let's be honest. They are both must-win games for us, really, because they're our best chance. Scotland is playing really well.
If I think about playing with them, I say, okay, they can play. But if you put like the pressure of a must-win game, that make me put.
Okay, so let's say this then, right? Scotland is a game that we probably it's going to be a tough game for us, right? It's going to be a tough game. Wales is a must-win game for us, right?
Let's see. I know it's hard, Mike. I know it's hard. Putting this in from this other point of view, it's hard. That's why, like the game that he can play, because he know the how they play and everything. For me, more than the other ones are the Welsh wingers, and he played better than the Welsh winger when he play against them.
Perfect, put him in. Like genuinely, if that's okay, like for me,
if those in these 5 games, I have to put a game where I want to see him. Yeah, probably Wales is the one where potentially he'll play. Is another game for me at the end. of this.
Yeah, and he
Maybe
would be
coming in the second half. I don't know, because we never thought about, okay, let's bring him in with a 5+3, and you bring a Jesse that cover a 9, Jesse and Marine.
he would be against the Scarlet Boy, wouldn't he, on the wing?
Depend who's fit and who's gonna be called up. There are some players, interesting players, but probably Jesse can do his job. Maybe it can be Rio Dyer. Who knows?
That's what I mean. It would be against Rio Dyer, wouldn't it?
Rio Dyer, I don't know who is injured. Like, I don't know. I don't remember Mason Grady if he has some issues now or not.
I don't know.
No,
Josh Adams is back though, isn't he, as well? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see like what that matchup would look like. But regardless, the Welsh have got some
why
big...
the matchup with those players can be better. But they're gonna have maybe a fresh guy at Tascom that can always pinpoint.
I want to see Jesse versus Curtly Aronson. That's all I'm saying right now, mate. That's what I want to see, mate.
The wingers with the cap, the lacquer box.
That's it. Maybe they can swap hats at the end instead of shirts.
Oh, it's gonna be cute. Cute. There's gonna be something like that.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, listen, I wouldn't be upset if I saw him play. Like, for me, it's not like
crazy call. If you have a chance to put a player into the team, and then he's gonna surprise Quesada so much, who's gonna be the player that you want to put? We said the locks are those, the centers are those one. Like, more or less, we know the team. Who's gonna be the crazy call that you say yes?
I don't think it's crazy, but I think Hasa, like, if you would say there's a team that you would play a certain player against, imagine Hasa, Nicotera, and Ferrari or Riccioni as a starting lineup against Wales. I think I genuinely think that's a solid front row. Like, I know a lot of people don't agree. I don't know why they don't see what.
No, but makes sense in that way. And then Fischetti closing the game, bringing.
I would love that. I would love that. Right, Fischetti obviously has the leadership as well. So, like, if Lamaro has to come off and Giuliani has to come on, then Fischetti goes on. He takes captaincy or something like that. You know, he's a leader, right? I would love that. I'd love to see what that would look like, and I don't think that's a risk. That's the thing. If not, I could be stupid and say, let's put Capote at 9. He's played 20 minutes of it now, so let's do
him playing 9? I have a couple of stuff for him.
Hey, you get mate. There we go. Go on. The man's prepared. The man is prepared.
No, it's not bad. What you want to see from him, like the way he play 9, like in attack or in defense. Defense, he play on the wide. He did a couple of minute 79, 2 tackles on Seuteni, perfect on the wide space. But let's see how he box kick, Mike. We should
go on. Send it to me, go on.
Yeah, hopefully it's gonna be. Nobody's gonna close this video, but yes, let's put it on. I can manage it a little bit. So
yeah, okay. Whilst you're doing that, genuinely, right? Like, I would, if we're gonna go risky. I don't think Haas is a risk anyway. Cool. Right, we got it.
More chances for him than Jesse is with. So
it's weird that you say that, but
yeah, but for what we're saying,
yeah.
Okay, so he came in 51 minutes, kind of something like that. Here we go with the number 21 on the jersey. Pass. No, let's go straight to the box kick, because that is the interesting thing. Okay, look. Okay. After this, there is a box kick over here. Pass and go on the right side is good.
So this is the. Is this the box? No, this
is all. Oh, here we go. The first one is coming.
Okay, right. So,
Vado.
Yes, please. Jesus. You know what? That is actually a lovely kick. Like that held. Yeah, that held Snow for a while. And what's his pass out? Do we see him pass out of his left hand?
Pass on his left. He can be better. Okay,
but the box his pass off the right off the base was lovely there. Like, but obviously, yeah. If you're going to play that position, mate.
Yo, look at this.
Snow. There is snow on that ball.
Boom. Look where it goes. 2 lines. What you ask to the 9 is that. This goes deep in the middle. Oh, deep in the
beautiful.
middle. The right choice. Oh, no. Let's say again this. The one right in the middle here.
Yeah. Splits the two.
This is perfect, but the one in the middle is okay. Boom. Behind there, go back. Go back. Let's put
He
pressure
turns them, doesn't
there.
he?
And he's also
He turns them, forces them to make a decision there. Mate, like, that's beautiful.
No, and look where he is. Like, he's the first one to put the team in
Everyone on the
game
side.
because he's the fastest one there too. So
You know what's crazy?
Here. Oh,
this Clermont team was full go as well. This was La Rochelle team was
Rochelle.
full strength, wasn't it?
Look at this. Boom, under pressure. And then he played. Of course, when he knows how to play, he did a couple of good stuff. But man, these passes, you want to see left to right pass? Here we go.
Yeah, let's see this.
On the left. Normal, second one
Off
on
the base.
left.
Hey, mate, that was lovely. It was a little bit low, but it was a lovely pass.
He can be straight because he can be pointed out easily. Well, okay, he has to be quicker passing the ball, but this under pressure, 2 lines again. For me, it's crazy. Look at this. Pass on the side.
So what are you saying, Otto? Are you trying to sell me here, mate? Are you trying to...
I'm trying to say...
You know what? That's it. That's it. Cabosso 9. We can afford another fullback. Let's go for another fullback. Let's do it.
Mike, look at this. Under pressure, 73 minutes in. You are 3 points under.
35 yards he makes here, right?
And you kick there. Like, you don't wait until the 9.
Back. Yeah. Right.
He didn't finish. Look at this. So
it's 5 seconds in the air. That's mental.
The time
that's mental.
Yeah, that's really surprised me against La Rochelle, not against Oyonnax, Montpellier last season.
So what are you saying? Are you saying he's a viable option at 9 for us if we're struggling?
If we're struggling, yes, but he knows what to do. He is the best option of the if Fusco is playing, he get injured, and Varney got a red card. Who's gonna play 9? Capuazzo.
He only played it for 10 years, so I hope. Do you know what I mean? He only played 9 for 10 years.
No, but okay. In an emergency situation, I'm
joking. I'm saying he's probably played 9 more than he's played fullback or wing.
Oh yeah. No, but also now we have to find out who can throw perfect darts in line out.
Oh mate, I would. They don't need to be perfect anymore, mate. If they're going to put that World Rugby law in, we take the piss out of that, right? Find the guy with like the iron arm and just throw it like 50 yards in. Do you remember that Marchant throw in? Do you remember where Marchant throws it in? One-handed. Instead of doing it backwards, throw it 55 yards forwards. There you go. Perfect.
Just throw it easily.
Well, here's the question to you then, Otto. Like, what constitutes not competing at lineup? What if someone takes a lineup quick? Is that not competing? Because if that means it's not competing, I can just throw the ball in front to myself.
I think when there is a channel, because the quick lineout is different than the normal lineout. So normal lineout, you can throw it behind too. No problem.
No, you are right. You're right. Because I was going to say, imagine a 50-22 and then like it comes in and you just throw it like 5 meters ahead and just dive on the ball.
For me, actually, I love this law. It's the best for me because I was hoping for this law. I remember, but years ago, like on X2 answering, like, if you want to bring a law, which one is? For me, was this.
I don't think it's good for us.
Let it play instead because it's not straight. I don't care. They didn't jump. I don't care. I
think that's a problem for us though, as Italian fans, because we don't compete at 5 meters, which means that actually they can do some stupid stuff when it comes to a 5 meter.
Hey, you see Clermont against Benetton competing every ball, double elevation
at the front pod. Yeah.
They didn't care because you know what? I'm gonna compete. If you throw it, if it's not perfect, your throw, I'm gonna compete anyway.
Yeah, well, that's sort of the point, mate. Like now, I think when it gets to 5 meter scrum, teams against us, if that does come in, is actually in Six Nations, teams against us are going to come up with some weird and wonderful players. Like, yeah.
I hope we're gonna throw good line out when we are 5 meters from scoring, because sometimes I think we do stuff too complicated, too much in some situation. I saw why you have to try that? Just a good throw, good timing, boom, you are in. I hope that if I have to ask Club Befana for the next year, something is gonna be this.
Yeah. So, guys, quickly, the guys who are listening, what are your thoughts on the new law changes? Like, comment and let us know, because I think there's been some mixed reviews. I'm actually quite happy with them, to be honest. But I do think there's probably some which hurt us slightly more than the other teams, if I'm honest. So, it's going to be interesting to see you guys as some of the fans what your thoughts are. And whilst you're commenting, if you don't mind giving us a like, we probably would appreciate that. So it helps out.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm happy to have chat with a couple of new guys that I didn't know, like FV at the beginning, Robert always around, thanks to Federico, Phantom, Christopher always around, Phantom back in a certain way. Actually, we chat today with him, and that's it. But anyway, Mike, see you, and have a nice weekend. We didn't
you too, my
talk
friend,
about the weekend, but we're gonna review next week about the game. If it's not gonna be alone, we're gonna be together, whatever, but it's gonna happen. And that's it. Ciao a tutti. See you soon. Bye.
Fratelli, the Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast. Fratelli, the Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast.